All right, so here we are. We are looking at, what we could really much describe as an elephant in the room. It says which expression is equivalent to x plus 2, which is fine, but then it's multiplied by a trinomial, not 2, but 3. So, everyone, this is where we think about this. When we think about multiplying and distribution, if you're only used to thinking about things as FOIL, this is where things can bite you in the butt. So here's what I mean. If I am, your average student who really relies on FOIL, they're going to think that when we write this down, x plus 2, and then we have 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. When you write this down, you might be thinking, okay, cool, let's do FOIL. But then you'll quickly realize, okay, first, outside, inside, last. If I follow that, do we all see that we completely ignored the 3x? Do we see that? If we treat this like FOIL, if we just assume that FOIL sticks to everything, do you notice how we completely ignore that 3x? Yeah, that's the big issue. That's one of the big issues, actually. Because the problem is, you're not following the principle correctly. The correct principle is make sure everything from one parentheses multiplies with everything from the other. One more time, everybody. Make sure that everything from one parentheses multiplies with everything from the other. Let me show you how graceful it is. So we'll do everything from one to the other. So x times 2x squared, that'll be 2x cubed. Because we just have x squared and x cubed. Okay, cool. Next up, we still have the x multiplying with the 3x over here. X times 3x, that'll be 3x squared. We're still not done with the x because we have to make sure that it still multiplies with the 5. X times 5, that'll end up being 5x. So that's part 1. Then part 2. Now we're dealing with the 2. We'll have the 2 multiplied by the 2x squared. That'll end up being 4x squared. We'll have, boom, 4x squared. Then up next, 2 times 3x, 6x. And then lastly, we have 2 times 5, and that'll be 10. So allow me to just take the 10 and just slap it right here at the bottom. Boom, there we go. And now what we're going to do is combine like terms. But notice what I did here, everybody. Notice what I did. Just make sure that every term multiplies with everything from the other. X to 2x squared to 3x to 5. 1, 2, 3. Then here, the 2 with the 2x squared, the 3x, and the 5. 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because 2 times 3 is 6 total terms. All right, now let's go ahead and kick it here. We have the 2x cubed, no like terms, so we just write 2x cubed. Then up next, we have 3x squared and 4x squared. Help me out, everybody. 3 of these x squareds and 4 of these x squareds, combine them, and we get what? Yeah, we get 7 of them. So that's going to be 3 plus 4, 7x squared. Then up next, we have the 5x and the 6x. Those are like terms. 5 plus 6, that gives me 11. 11x. And then we still have that 10 at the end, plus 10, and look at that. I know this looked messy at first, but this is no different than two binomials when we just remember our rules. Make sure that everything from one parentheses multiplies with everything from the other. Boom. And that got us through here super smooth. And that's why I actually am against pure memorization like FOIL, because it doesn't help you when we change up just the 1 or 2 details. And so there we are, everybody. The correct answer to this one here is answer choice. Let me go ahead and find the right one. These all look the same. It's not C, it is B. Correct. There we go. The correct answer here is answer choice B. So great work, everybody. That was another one in the book. All right, next up, everybody, we're going to read the question sentence first. and we see that we're being asked, how much do we end up paying? All right, sounds good. So it doesn't seem like there's going to be a strict formula to follow here. We just got to follow that story start to finish. So here, we buy 3 mugs at $14 each. 2 tumblers, $17 each. Everybody, question on that. Question on the use of the word each. How are we going to use that here? Are we going to multiply or divide? If we're trying to get to the grand total for spending, yeah, we're trying to multiply here. Let's go ahead and highlight some of these important details. Right here, we have 3 mugs, $14 each. And then in the next breath here, we have 2 tumblers at $17 each. So let's calculate that. We have 14 times 3. I'm not going to include the decimal and the zeros because, well, zeros are just 0. So I'm not going to waste that space. 4 times 3, that'll give me 12, carry the 1. And then from there, we have 1 times 3. And then we add the 1, and that's 4. So we have 42. Over here in green, we have 2 tumblers at 17 each. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. And then we have 1 times 2 plus the 1 is 3. So everybody, we have the $42 and the $34. And then it says that we have a $10 coupon. Everybody, did anybody here almost make the mistake of taking away 10 over here and over here? Anybody make that mistake? Nah, can't get you yet. Can't trick you yet. Can't make you sweat yet. Hey, totally fine. Totally fine. We'll ask that in the next couple of questions. So with that, yeah, the $10 coupon is just a $10 off of the total. So if we take the $42 and $34 added together, that's going to give us $76. And then we'll apply that $10 coupon, and that'll leave us at 66. So the correct answer here, my party people, will be answer choice C, $66. Coming up here, everybody, the next question that we're looking at is asking us how much border strip is needed to go around the entire dance floor. All right, everybody, so let's go ahead and let's just analyze that for 5 seconds. Because when we think about this, yeah, sure, you might notice that we're dealing with a square dance floor. So let's just go ahead and show that square. There we go, a little more faithful to 1-to-1. And when we take a look at this square dance floor, when we're talking about border strip, when we're talking about going around the entire dance floor, everybody, what does that sound like to you? What blaring geometric idea does it sound like we're talking about? Yeah, perimeter. 100%. Perimeter, going around a shape, that's perimeter. So if you remember that we're dealing with a square, the special fact about a square is that all of the sides are the same. So we are told 20 feet long, booyah. So we know that the 20 feet that's listed there is listed at the top, on the left, and on this bottom side here. And perimeter is just multiplying the side length by 4 because we got 4 of the same sides. 4 times 20, that's going to give us 80 total feet. And there we go. A very quick one here, but a good exercise in understanding what these key words mean.